Hey guys, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/jumbled. They have over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Hey everybody, welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. My name is Zach.
My name is Joe.
Whoa, what's going on there, dude?
I haven't spoken in hours.
Oh.
It's like one of those moments you gotta warm up into.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I've been over here for 3 hours and you haven't said a single word to me. I thought you were pissed off or something, man.
Yeah. No, I just I'm one of those little frog in the throat kind of moments.
Yeah, I feel better this week about our recording schedule because I don't feel like I gotta go home immediately and
No, you do have to go home immediately.
Well, but
as soon as I hit stop.
But you didn't let me finish.
But you gotta leave.
Yeah, but you gotta let me finish though. Like I was saying, like I don't need to go home and immediately edit and then push this thing up.
You think you can just slack off? Is that what it is?
I'm planning on it.
Yeah, this is the first time we've recorded, I think, on a weekend in probably a couple months.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
We're like, hey, like we'll do it on like Monday or Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, it's been Tuesday lately.
Yeah.
But we're trying to be a little more proactive.
Early on, we were pretty good about it. We had them like recorded a week in advance.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And we got behind somehow and we released a practice. Then we had a practice release.
It was probably like there was a couple weeks during the summer where either you were gone or I was gone. And that just sort of... It happens that way sometimes.
You hit me up earlier today, and I was like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I've been gone all day. I was at the Renaissance Festival.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ye olde Renaissance Festival.
And seriously, like every like shop there is either some kind of like magical, kind of mystic name or like, or it's like ye olde. Like root beer stand.
Yeah.
Like that was one of, like I got a root beer float today at ye old root beer stand. Yeah. It was like ye old crafts or something. Yeah, there was a lot of those.
Did you throw ye old tomatoes at that douchebag who's just talking trash?
I did not.
He talks so much trash, dude.
I did want to, but it was $5 for 5. And it's like, I don't pay that much for tomatoes at a grocery store.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $5 to throw tomatoes at this guy. He was rather rude. You
know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see like Tom Brady or something just wailing, just winging a 65 mile per hour tomato at this dude's face.
Or what was the that Marlins or Mariners pitcher Johnson?
Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah,
just like cream him in the face.
My favorite,
deadly accuracy.
Yeah, my favorite GIF of all time is the one where he throws a baseball and it hits the bird mid-flight.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like the bird hit the ball.
Sure, like, the bird flew into the trajectory of the ball. Yeah. He didn't like aim for a bird. It was like a bird.
Get off my field!
He was an evil bastard.
They actually employ him at airports now to scare them away, and if they're not scared away, he just kills them.
Have you ever had a moment like that where you did something unintentionally awesome?
I can't think of one.
I know I don't know about myself personally, but my mom always tells a story. She was I guess doing some yard work or something, and there was this squirrel who had been like biting a hole into our trash can and like going in and like ripping bags and shit and like stealing food or whatever. And my mom picked up a rock and winged it at the squirrel and like hit it in the head.
Killed it?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like an insta kill or anything, but I'm pretty sure he died.
Yeah. Oh man.
But it was like,
yeah, one of those sidearm kind of get out of here kind of thing, and just like
she Brett Favre'd it, dude.
Just deadly accurate.
Yeah, that's my mom. She throws a 95 mile per hour fastball. I should say that. So
yeah. But no, to answer your question, I did not throw any tomatoes. I did have some brewskis. Had a turkey leg.
I saw you on our friend Kelsey's Instagram story.
Oh yeah.
Yep, she threw a thing up there on Ren Fair, so I figured that's where you were. So.
Yeah, and what else? They had a TV playing the Lions game.
Oh, nice.
At the very end of the place,
and everybody was like, "Woo! What is this thing?"
Well, there were some people who were like, "Take out your magic box and take a photo," or whatever you call it. They were like doing some funny stuff.
Sure.
This one girl got me. She was like, I was walking past. There are games you can do everywhere, like the tomato toss or like just tossing bean bags. And like, I was walking past. She's like, "Hey, you with the blue scarf." I had on this frog tog. It's like you dampen it and it stays cool. So
I think
it was
I know
like
what
nearly
that is.
90 degrees today.
Yeah,
and you put it around your neck and it feels good. And she's like, "Come over here and play." I was like, "Okay." And she explained the game. She's like, "Okay, it's $1." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, it's $1. Give me $1." I mean, she's being like really straightforward. I was like, "I don't have $1," which was true. Like, you know, some places take cash and others take card there. So.
right.
And she was like, "Okay, go get one." I was like, "All right." And I was like, "Hey, babe, you got $1?" I was like, "Yeah." And so she, you know, I gave her the $1 and she spins this wheel and you just toss a beanbag on it. And whatever color you land on, you get that corresponds to a prize. I'm like, "Okay, so like, what are the prizes?" I mean, like, how do you know? She's like, "Oh, I'll let you know," because there were like little tiny stuffed animal unicorns, like bracelets, and like just stuff I didn't really care for. But I mean, she was good at her job. She got me good. So I toss it, lands. She's like, "Oh, you have to sing me a song." I'm like, "What?" Like, it doesn't say anywhere on this board. It's just like green, blue, and yellow. It's like, "No, you gotta sing me a song." Like, okay. She's like, "Do you know Little Teapot?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Sing that one." I'm like, all right. So I sang it, and then she's like, "Okay, throw it again." And I got this. I took it off earlier because it got wet, but I threw it again. She's like, "Okay, you get a prize from the box of shame." I'm like, what? And it literally was like these rubber. I mean, they might as well have been like kind of like rubber bands, but they weren't as elastic.
Okay.
Or like these kind of tether looking bracelet. Like they were, I mean, it was like, okay, I'd rather not have it, but
Sure.
I grabbed a, you know, for my $1, something you would get out of a quarter machine. Yeah, she got me good though.
Yeah, that's those are always fun. I haven't been to the Ren Fair in years, dude. It's probably been 4 or 5 years.
It had been 2 years since I'd gone.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a good time.
Nice, man.
Had some, I said turkey leg, had some,
Of course, you got to have a turkey leg at the Ren Fair.
But you know what? It wasn't that good.
No, I don't think it's necessarily how good it is. It's just sort of like, you know, you're at the Ren Fair.
Yeah, you got to kind of be barbaric and eat this big old turkey leg. But
sure.
To be honest, like, you know, I can't ever.
You were also dressed up as an orc.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't mention that.
I do want to dress up, but I don't because like I said, it was 89 degrees today, and I was sweating in shorts and a V-neck.
Yeah, and I don't think they wore that stuff back then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they did, but you know, there were people like dressed up as like steampunk Renaissance too. So you get all sorts of different people. And I saw someone. It looked. I don't know what character they're dressed up as, but they should have been at Comic-Con. Like this, like silvery, like wispy silvery hair, and like she was just all silver, and it was.
You know, people will come up with any kind of excuse to wear a costume.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, for sure.
So I remember, this is probably about 4 or 5 years ago when I last went, but I saw, no joke, saw Darth Vader at the Renaissance.
Darth Vader.
Saw Darth Vader. Saw Darth Vader at the...
Yeah.
No, but some dude dressed up like Darth Vader just walking around the Ren Fair. It's like, don't know about that one, you know?
That's such a cool mashup, though. Just like, Darth Vader at the Renaissance Festival.
But maybe like it's on the same timeline though, because it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, so it could have been any.
It could line up with the timeline though. You know,
we just don't know. Yeah,
we don't.
That's like a mashup of Star Wars and Princess Bride. when you see him there. Okay, so there was a dude. We were at this one. We were at this one little kind of rest area, restaurant where they bring you food, and this guy was like everyone does accents most of the time. They're like a British or just like old accent.
Sure.
But he was just like doing like a Russian accent, and he was like going in and out of it. Like it wasn't like his natural accent.
Hello,
I mean, it was
come
weird.
over.
He's like welcome. It was like a really like
welcome.
Yeah, it was where he's like, what's your favorite flavor? Like it was so weird. Like his pronunciations, and it was almost like a Swedish, kind of Russian, kind of moving in and out of something. Like I think he was creating his own place. He reminded me of.
He's an amalgam or whatever.
Martin Short's character in Father of the Bride.
Okay.
Where he's like
really eccentric.
Yeah, just like making up just a completely weird accent. I don't know. It was weird. I guess you can just do whatever you want at those places.
I think you can. I think it's sort of a no holds barred sort of situation.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never been to a Comic-Con or anything like that.
I haven't either. There's always a big one here in Kansas City.
There is.
I think one's coming up.
Yeah, and I know a guy who he
goes to him.
He goes to him, but he dresses up. He does all that stuff, but he dresses up like a Ghostbuster, and he has like the backpack and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And he's got the jumpsuit, with the. I mean, he doesn't have the car or anything like that, but I did see the car driving around here.
Were we in the same car? I don't know if we were in the same car or not. I've seen it though recently.
Was that like during the trips back and forth from downtown or around around your wedding?
No.
Speaking of which, that you're
coming up, yeah,
man.
Yours was just the
21st.
Yeah.
Yep. We're a month apart.
Happy. That's all right, man. I didn't ever make that connection.
You know what's funny about my I'm doing the gun finger.
Yeah. We're unholstered, pointing at each other.
Yeah, it's a standoff. You know what's funny about my my anniversary? What
is funny about
the lyrics to September by Earth, Wind, and Fire?
On the 21st.
Do you remember the 21st night of September?
Do you?
I do.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire songs. Fun fact.
The 21st night of October went by pretty fast.
Yeah.
I remember bits. It kind of comes back here and there.
Yeah, weddings are always sort of like you end up not remembering too much of it because everybody else is having a good time partying, but you have to like go around and like talk to everybody and thank everybody or like be subject to. You can't enjoy the party as much as everybody else is enjoying it.
But you want everybody to enjoy. So
that's the point of the wedding. You want everybody to have a good time, but you almost can't yourself, which sort of sucks. But
speaking of, I was at a wedding yesterday too.
Were you?
Here in Independence. One of Nikki's coworkers and someone we went to Graceland with, and they had. Speaking of costumes, they had a guy by the pool that was. He was in like all in silver, like silver hat, face paint, and everything. He was a mime.
Oh, okay.
It was really, and then they had another like lady that was like dressed in all gold. It was kind of odd. I didn't expect it.
Yeah,
it seemed a little out of place, but everyone was loving it, like taking selfies and stuff with the guy. And I was like, huh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's almost like seeing like one of the blue men out in public. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on?
What are you doing?
But I'm going to do this in the future when there are past hors d'oeuvres. I'm going to do what I did yesterday. I will strategically place myself in the entrance and exit of where they're bringing the food out. I got to try all the food, and people kept coming over like, you want to try this? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try it again. I'll have more. Yeah, it's good.
That's awesome, man.
So I recommend that for all future weddings. Wedding hack.
Yeah. I neglected to mention this in previous episodes, but went to Chicago. Gosh, I guess it's been a few weeks back, maybe a month back.
You can't talk about it now.
No, I'm going to.
No, it's 3 weeks now.
Statute of limitations on that? Oh, okay. All right, well, moving on, I guess.
Podcast statute of limitations.
Yeah. No, but I went, I'm going to break the rules. Went to Chicago for a wedding for my wife's best friend's wedding. And, my wife and I have an agreement that we get like 1 to 2 nights a year where we just like, we can sort of cash in. It's like a drunken night, like an overly drunken night, like sloppy drunk night, 1 to 2 times a year.
Yeah. And it's always, I mean, like when someone else is watching the kids.
Right.
You're
Absolutely.
Not like,
no, we had
not like making you drinks.
Well, we had
and, like,
the
driving
kids.
you home.
Yeah, we had the kids with us this time. No, the kids were obviously elsewhere, and anyway, so this we hadn't talked about it previously.
Yeah.
It's sort of just how it comes up. It wasn't me who got to cash in that night. Although I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
So, sort of set the picture here. The wedding was at 4:30, something like that. And so we started drinking probably around. Well, the girls got picked up around 8, and then we started drinking pretty heavy right after that. So it's me and my wife, and we're drinking or whatever. My wife. Every time I say that, anyway.
Were you at the Renaissance Festival? Was that you today?
That was me.
Oh, wow.
That was me.
My wife.
Yeah. But we started drinking pretty heavily at 8, and then my wife was just like, she's very social. So she was just like moving from crowd to crowd, and everybody was like, shots, and she's just taking a shot after the other shot, whatever. And so it built up pretty quick for her. I was just sort of pulling on my drink, whatever, and getting a refill or whatever. I felt I was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Like not good enough to drive. So eventually she's like, all right, let's get out of here. I'm like, okay, sounds good. So we walk out and we get outside the venue, and she's, staggering around. I'm like, all right, where should we go? She's like, oh, did you get my shoes? I sat them down by the table. I was like, okay, I didn't, but I'll go back inside and get them. And so I had to go through, like, this was like, there was a bar, and then in the back of this bar, there's a venue area.
Okay.
It was an outdoor venue. So I had to go through this bar to get to the outdoor area. So we fought our way out. I had to go back in to get the shoes. I told her to stay put, stay where she was, hug the wall, whatever. Yeah. And I'd be right back. So I had to fight the crowd back through. It was probably 45 seconds to a minute, total that I was gone. And so I go through, I get the shoes, I'm on my way back out, and then I get back outside, and where's my wife? She's gone.
She just ghosted you?
Yeah, she's gone. She just left. I have no idea where she went. And so, not being a native of Chicago, I'm like, well, what's the next step? Because here, also, I had her phone. I had her phone in my jacket pocket. So,
and she's shoeless, right? She's walking around.
Well,
shoeless?
she had shoes, but it wasn't like it was the wedding shoes. This is the shoes she was wearing in the wedding. She took off and wore some more comfortable shoes. So she just started wandering. And that's a running theme with us now. Anytime she goes out and has a drink, I'm like, don't wander,
Yeah.
But she
gotta get a leash.
Yeah. She started wandering, and so I'm like, what's the next? I was like, did anybody see which direction Stephanie staggered off to?
Yeah.
And nobody knew where she went, and so I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll just sort of walk around aimlessly, and maybe she made her way to the car and just sit next to the car. Nope, she wasn't there. So I'm like, she couldn't have gotten far, but I didn't know which direction she headed, so I started just walking around. And then I got a call from this number I didn't recognize, so I answered it, and it was my wife calling from somebody else's phone at a bar that was not related to where we were.
So how long had it been? So you go in to get the shoes.
15 minutes, probably.
15 minutes?
10 to 15 minutes. Somewhere in there.
I'd have been livid.
I was.
Yeah.
But she was like, it's sort of one of those things where you're like, okay, like, I know she didn't intentionally do this. Like, it wasn't like,
well, my mind would be rude. Like racing through, like, did someone, like, nab her, like, take her away?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know Chicago.
No, but it's a pretty nice area, so I didn't think it was that. I was more concerned that I just wasn't going to be able to find her, or that she wouldn't remember my number for some reason, because who remembers phone numbers? Like I know my wife's, but I can't say that I wouldn't remember it if I was drunk. You know what I'm saying?
I know my wife's. I know my dad's. I know my mom's.
Yeah.
I know my phone number.
Yeah.
So like she could have called hers too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's true. But but I finally got that call, and it was her at some bar. So, but she didn't like know the name of it, and nobody around her apparently knew the name of the place, or
there
she
was
wasn't.
no menu.
I don't know. So she said something about. She mentioned some name, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I Google mapped it. By the way, my phone's on 1% at this point, so I'm like, Jesus, come on, let me at least figure out where this place is.
Turn the brightness down, location settings off, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth.
Exactly.
Let's find it.
So I found the bar, I went, and then it was obvious from the second I walked in that, everybody could tell that I was just sort of frustrated at that point. Yeah. And it always sort of sucks when it's like, you're wanting to have a good time.
Mm-hmm. When something happens.
But then you got to like sober up quick. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's never fun. Yeah. But that was one of the cash in moments for my wife. So I don't cash in too often. No. We'll have to have a night or something like that. But
have a let's see.
Do a drunk cast or something like that.
I was I know I've got it was this last Friday. I didn't have any students, but I'm gonna have a Friday off sometime. But last night at our wedding, we weren't too. I was wasn't too drunk. I'd been pretty responsible, right? But because I had to drive at the end of the night, and so we closed down the wedding. Like we were there until like the band was packing up, and they were playing like iPod music, and we were also like dancing around, and then they called it. Yeah. And so they had valet parking, and so we had to walk down this hill, like this winding driveway down to the bottom. And we're about to the bottom, and this car comes up to us, one of these valet people. And his car has like flashing lights on it, like it's the Knight Rider. But it's like it's like a weird old like Mercury Cougar or something like that. Just the lights were really out of it was weird. But he was like, "Hey, are you all going down to get your car?" We're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, well, I just took all the keys up to the house, so they're back in the house." And we're like, "Oh, okay, can you give us a ride?" He's like, "No, because I'd have to back up the whole way." And it's like, you can't just go down to the bottom and turn around, turn the car around and then come get us. But so we walked back up. And here's the thing: right before we'd walk down there, I told Nikki, I said, "Hey, I don't know if our keys are going to be down there. Would you rather?" Because we had walked a little bit already. Sure. I was like, "Would you rather us go down there and find out that our keys aren't there, or go up to the house and see if our keys are there?" She's like, "No, let's just go down there." So it turns out keys were in the house, but we had to hike all the way back up, get the keys, hike all the way back down. But
I hate extra trips. Like that's a pet peeve of mine.
And I mean, it was like, I'm not joking. It was steep. It was like uphill. Yeah. And
you got a leg workout in.
I did. It was leg day yesterday. Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah, that's
it happens.
It does happen.
Speaking of working out, tomorrow we're going to a free. We, meaning Nikki and I, are going to a free boxing class.
Kickboxing.
Kickboxing. Yeah. I don't know what kickboxing is. I think it's like you kick and you...
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. It's chicken.
Back and forth.
It's like a martial arts, but it's like chicken. Yeah. It's like, if you ever seen a chicken fight? Yeah. It's derived from the way chickens fight. It's a lot of feet.
I host them down here from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of blood everywhere, so I assumed. I assumed as much.
But yeah, we're going to free kickboxing because we were there. We were at the local gym called the Sermon Center, and we went to play basketball after the class was over, and the teacher's in there. He's like, "Hey, would y'all want to come to the class next week?" We're like, "Sure." And he's like, "Yeah, here's some free passes. Come, any day." And so we're going to go tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, beep, beep, back it up. On Friday, this last Friday, I went down to Belton, went to that
how'd that go?
Chaos course for a free consultation. Nice. It was really cool. I walked in, and it's kind of it's not what I expected, but like he showed me around and like toured the facility. It's like one big open room. They've got kind of a side room too where they do martial arts and stuff in there. And the gym owners are really cool, and they've got all these obstacles and stuff that you can do, like the salmon ladder, which is where you hold that bar like parallel to the ground. You gotta, you jump up rungs. Yeah. And then they've got like they've got the warp wall, which is the thing you gotta run up. Oh yeah. You get to the top. Yeah. That's where you hit the buzzer. Yeah. On the
sure, it's the last
first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of like kind of bouldering wall kind of stuff, and they've got, and this is all like really all homemade stuff. So it's just all like kind of yeah, it's all kind of rugged.
Okay.
But it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to go on Tuesday
Nice.
and do like a day pass. And there's some people that come in there on Tuesday evenings and train and do like obstacle training. And so, yeah. And they said if I want to, within a week of doing that day pass, if I want to do a membership, they'll just apply that to it's a $15 day pass. We'll apply that towards a membership. So
that'd be nice.
Yeah. So,
well,
told you, I put it out in the universe. I'm training for Ninja Warrior.
Hey man, do your thing.
I'm gonna do my thing.
Joe put me down as a what was it?
Oh yeah, they needed 3 references for the application.
Yeah. They called me and I said you're a piece of shit, and you weren't committed. You probably wouldn't be a good contestant.
You mean that tub of lard? How much you say he weighed?
You mean that piece of shit?
He said he weighs 195. No, man. He's 350 easy. He sits around, does nothing.
Yeah, see that's the beauty of podcasting is like I could be 450 pounds. Nobody would be
Yar.
nobody would know any different.
True. Other than like maybe your breathing. I feel like when you get
just a lot of back of the mouth,
a lot of phlegm, and just yeah. Sorry to our listeners that might be up in that 450, 500 range. And
we're not making fun of anybody. I'm just saying, like, there's no way.
But yeah, you know, if you do weigh that much, you might,
you know, get some help.
You know, walk around a bit.
Yeah,
try to shed a few.
Go ahead and pop your headphones in and walk around the block with us.
Yeah.
You know,
listen to Audible.
Absolutely. I've been dealing. I don't know what I must have ate something, but I've got like.
I hope you ate something.
I'm saying I ate something that fucked with my mouth because I've got like sores on the inside of my mouth. Almost like I ate something too hot, but I don't recall burning my mouth.
Was it when you took a shot of that boiling hot water?
That's what it was. Yeah. Knew I shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't say always, but I always wait. Like, you know, with like a pizza you get out of the oven, and I always tell my wife, I said, hey, this is really hot.
Yeah.
No, she pays no mind and just burns her mouth.
I don't recall. I just don't recall burning my mouth as the thing. So it must have been like, I don't know, allergic reaction or something. Yeah. I have no idea.
I bite my cheeks.
I might have done that in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh.
I might have done that in the middle of the night or something. But I'm like, I like had Five Guys last night, and I was eating, you know, the fries with the ketchup, and it stung the shit out of the inside of my mouth.
So where did Five Guys come into that story? So last night you were eating fries, and they were
I was eating five people.
Guys.
I was eating 5 people.
You're eating 5 people.
Yeah,
5 guys. Wow.
Yeah. It's a thing that we do over at my house. You know, we lure unsuspecting people into our house, and then
every Saturday.
Yeah, every Saturday.
Cannibal Saturday, you know.
Cannibal Saturday, just like every other American family.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is worse, biting your cheek or like your tongue or something, or a paper cut?
Biting my cheek or tongue.
Okay, biting your cheek or tongue, or getting a cut from a knife. Say you're like trying to like slice something like a vegetable, and you like get your finger.
Does it draw blood?
Yes. That. It does.
Yeah. It's worse. I have on my middle finger, I've got a scar. I'm showing Joe right now. I used to work at Texas Roadhouse. You know, at the end of the shift, you got to roll silverware for the next day.
Isn't that movie with that one guy based off of Texas Roadhouse? Why can't I think of his name? He was in Dirty Dancing, and he was also in Ghost.
Talking about Patrick Swayze?
Yeah, Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse.
Yeah, that's what. Yep, it was just about him serving, like waiting tables. Yeah,
kicking people.
That's it.
Getting in fights.
Yeah. Okay. No, but sorry, I'm looking at my watch. I'm
checking
just
your time.
Trying to figure out how much longer I got to be fucking anywhere.
Here?
But here.
Oh, but work, but home. What are you talking about?
How much longer I got to be here is what I mean.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd say at least a couple more minutes.
Yeah, probably another 30 minutes or so. No,
So you cut your finger at Texas
I was
Roadhouse.
rolling silverware, and when you roll the silverware, you're supposed to put the blade side facing inward, but I had it facing outward, and so I went and grabbed it.
Cloth napkin?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yep. And so I went to grab to start rolling, and the blade side was facing
Was there
out.
a steak knife in there?
Steak knife.
Oh,
but it's
man.
like one with the, it's got a sharp edge, but it's got the serrated.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh, you grabbed it?
Yeah, I grabbed it, and I plunged it, and it was deep, man, and it left a permanent scar.
I've got a permanent one from trying to cut a bagel. We had one of those like bagel. My mom used to do Pampered Chef, and so we had all these kind of weird gadgets. But you could stick a bagel inside this little stand and cut it easy.
Sure.
And for some reason, it wasn't working out, and so I took it out of the machine, out of the little stand, and then started at it and then cut my finger. Yeah, so I got it. I can't remember which one it is, but I do have a scar somewhere. But last week, I was drying a knife and cut my finger pretty good,
dude.
But like a true old person, put Band-Aid on it.
Yeah,
put some Neosporin on it.
Yeah,
and over a couple days, it healed up pretty quick.
Nice, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
It wasn't like 2 hours when you're a kid, you know.
Yeah.
Anytime a kid hurts themselves, it's like healed by the end of the day.
Bounce back.
Yep. Kids don't bounce. I've learned that the hard way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they don't bounce back.
What about trampolines?
Trampolines?
Do they bounce?
I mean, the kids bounce back on the trampolines.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you just like throw the kid on the ground.
Oh, yeah. They don't bounce
they're not
back up.
They're not like kittens in that way, you know?
Yeah. I've heard of that.
Speaking of kittens, I've got a new kitten.
I'm shaking my head.
At the house.
Not because you have a cat. You know, cats are fine. You got another cat. Cats like having another cat. But because of the name you wish to call said animal.
Hey, man.
And what is that?
Well.
Tell us its full name.
Catalina.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for short, you like to call
cat.
No, your cat. What do you call your cat's? What do you call your cat?
Asshole.
That's what I call my cat.
Yeah. No, cat. We call the cat cat.
You call the cat cat.
Yeah. You know, at least we didn't do like duck or like...
Yeah, or like dog. Yeah. Or something like that. Yeah.
You know, at least like the cat's not going to grow up like wondering what the fuck it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's taken a little bit to warm up to the other animals. Not like angry. Like the cat's not angry, but you know, it's just like, you know, it's a kitten, so it's like so much smaller than the other two of them, so it's like doing a lot of the growling or, you know, hissing and stuff. But
yeah, it takes a minute.
Yeah, she's warming up, but we're getting there. But this cat, and I don't know if Moby did stuff like this when he was a kitten, attacks the shit out of my feet.
Yeah,
just like feet. Just, you know, I don't wear socks or shoes. You know, just go around the house. So I just have like my feet sitting on the floor, and out of nowhere, here comes like a cat just pounds on my. I'm like, God damn it, cat! Yeah. And it doesn't really hurt. But it's like, you know, just more surprising.
Yeah, gotta try to stop that now before it gets adult size and just rips a toe off. You know?
No, yeah, I've been like not kicking the cat, but like anytime the cat's like nearby, I like just sort of shuffle the cat off to the side with my foot.
Anytime it's nearby.
Well, anytime it's attacking my foot.
Oh, there's the cat again.
There's the cat.
Better scoot it away.
Better scoot it with my foot.
Get away, cat. We didn't get you for love and affection. Get away.
It's a cute cat.
Oh my gosh, my cat.
Calico.
A calico? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Hey, real quick, Joe, let's talk about our sponsor, Audible. You guys can head on over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. The book that I'm recommending this month is A Girl Walks Into a Bar, Comedy Calamities, Dating Disasters, and a Midlife Miracle by Rachel Dratch. You might
like her.
You might know her from Saturday Night Live. You should know her from Saturday Night Live. The book is all about her at the age of 44 becoming a new mother.
Wow.
Yeah, so that should be a pretty interesting read. I'm looking forward to, you know, she's got her comedic spin that she puts on it, and I'm looking forward to listen to that.
We are on the same wavelength because this month I'll be reading Al Franken, Giant of the Senate, and he is also an alum of Saturday Night Live. And this book talks about his time on SNL all the way up to his campaign for Senate and the unlikely outcome that became his his win, his victory.
Yeah.
And looking forward to reading that. He is, listening to it because it's Audible. You don't have to read, much like this podcast. But Al Franken narrates it, and he wrote it. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. So again, head on over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. Let's get back to the podcast.
Moby angered me today. You know how
what did he do today?
He peed on one of my Adidas luggage bags. I'd set it aside, and
he's got a problem, man.
He does, man.
Has that always been a thing?
It's like if it's been more than 2 days that I haven't scooped his box, yes. He's got 2 litter boxes, and it's not like it wasn't like, I'm not saying it didn't, have some of his stuff in there, but like, I mean, it's like sometimes it needs to be like pristine. Like he's so picky about that, and if it isn't, he will pee on something. And his litter boxes were not that, dirty.
Yeah.
They didn't need immediate attention.
He's like, I squirted in there one time, and you didn't take care of it, so now your luggage gets pissed on. Sorry for your luck.
I know. Oh my gosh, I was so angry. Because I could smell it. Obviously pretty pungent.
Yeah.
And I just slammed it down. I was like, where is he? And Nikki was like, don't hurt him. And it's not like I was going to throw him against the wall.
You have been saying some pretty mean things about your cat. No joke though. You've been saying some.
I mean,
he's been frustrating you. Though.
Yes, and very much.
Did you guys ever? I came over last time to record, and we joked about calling. Well, we said pee floor. I forget what we were going to talk about, but calling the episode. But just did you guys ever get the floors all fixed up?
A little bit. Yeah, they're getting better.
Yeah,
they're getting better.
It was on top of a rug.
Yes, Moby soiled a rug.
Nobody knew. Yeah. Nobody could have known.
No.
That Moby's a jerk, dude. He is. I can understand how you're frustrated.
But you know who's not a jerk? My nephew Christian, who asked for a shout out last week, and I forgot to do that. But for this one, if you're listening, Christian, what's up, dude?
Hey, shouting out, Christian.
Yeah. And my other nephews too, but
But they didn't ask.
They didn't ask. Yeah. If they ask,
you gotta ask nicely.
Ask. Yeah.
I know they got the manners. Their mama teaches it.
He texted me. He was like, "Hey, I heard that the podcast is going well. It's good to know that you're getting more listeners." And I was like, thanks,
Christian
man.
text.
Yeah.
Christian's got a phone, huh?
Oh yeah, he's had a phone for a little bit, for maybe a year or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my first one when I was like 16. Bought it, myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna get Sophie a phone for a bit, probably. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, you can get those phones that have like 2 buttons on them. One says mom, like one's mom and the other's dad.
Yeah.
And then you have like an emergency button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do something like that, but I don't know, man. Something I've got written down here. You ever have a circular conversation? Just like a conversation that you just, you know.
Where it just keeps coming back. I mean, you're like a circular. I mean, you keep saying the same kind of argument or the same kind of point, and it just keeps going around like that.
It wasn't even that. It was like a micro conversation. Like it was just sort of like an interaction, and I'm sure you've experienced this. So I went to Panda Express last week to get some lunch, whatever. Yeah. And I went in, and I think this lady was sort of taken aback by my rugged, handsome looks.
Handsomeness, yeah. Good looks.
So she was like, hey, hi, how are you? I was like, I'm good. How are you? She's like, I'm good. How are you? And then we just sort of looked at each other for 5 seconds or so. And then I was like, I'm good. Same thing as about 5 seconds ago. No, I switched it up. I said, no, now I'm doing horrible.
Now I'm doing horrible because you didn't ask me what I wanted.
No, and it wasn't even the lady taking my order. It was just like some lady who just wanted to poke her head in and say hi, I was like,
I've done that before too, and I immediately recognize it, and I'm like, oh, I feel silly. Or like when you're at the movie, and you're like, enjoy the movie, and I'm like, you too.
Yeah, I did that a lot. Like when going back to Texas Roadhouse, when I worked there, I was a food runner, so you take the food out to the tables, and I'd like be laying down, the stack of ribs or whatever, and
stack of ribs?
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Rack?
Stack of rack. Rack and stack. That's what we did.
Yeah.
We racked and stacked them.
Racked and stacked them.
But I'd set down the food and they'd say like, or I'd say like, enjoy the food, and I'd be walking away and they'd be like, you too. It's sort of like,
yeah.
But you just sort of like have to smile and like, keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had that happen. I always think that's sort of, it's like
strange.
More awkward than anything.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have a conversation where I just said like, hi, how are you? And they're like, I'm good. And then it was just silence for 45 seconds.
Yeah. I'm cool with
that in and of itself is awkward, but it's more awkward when you just have to sit there and be quiet after they said something stupid or you said something stupid, because then there's no way to move on from that.
I don't know what it is, but I'm not uncomfortable in awkward situations or like in moments where there is silence.
You're a robot.
Yeah. No, because I think so much of it, people just are like, oh, we need to be talking or we have to be talking.
Sure.
Like I've talked about Ubering, and I did it this weekend, and there have been times where someone will sit in the front, which I think is kind of strange. Like if it's just you, get in the back. I don't know.
Sure.
But anyhow, but like, they'll start off, hey, how you doing? We'll have a little bit of conversation, and then, it'll stop. And I'm okay with that because we're not best buds. You know, I'm not going to like be offended by us not talking, or I'm not going to like text you later and be like, hey dude, that was weird when we didn't talk for like the last 5 minutes of the ride. And so like I was giving this guy a ride, and then like he got on his phone, for about 10 minutes. And then right before, I was about to drop him off at his house, he gets off. So I was like, hey man, sorry. I forgot what excuse he said, but he was just like, sorry. I just kind of zoned out there for a little bit. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, we just haven't been talking. I'm like, it's okay. Like, seriously, it's like, it's okay. Like, we don't need to share some intimate moments. Like, what's your favorite color? How are your parents? Are you coming over to dinner on Saturday?
What's your background?
Yeah. Tell me about your whole life. Tell me your philosophies.
Really dig deep too.
Yeah.
Like I want to know everything.
Do not hold back. Just divulge. Just feel like you can come to me with anything.
It's your good old Uber buddy here,
But yeah, some people just are uncomfortable in those situations.
I think I probably fall into that category. I just don't like like the silence. Yeah.
Like right now, I'm just not going to talk the rest of the podcast.
I'll just take it. I had a question for you, Joe, and I know you're not going to answer, but I will just throw it out there anyway. Do you know if Head and Shoulders shampoo also works on the knees and or toes?
I think it does.
Yeah. Just on the knees and toes though, right?
Yeah. I think like on the back there's like directions, and it says that you can do that. Also works on the knees and toes.
That would be a smart marketing campaign.
Yeah, but not on the eyes and ears and nose and mouth. Just the head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Yeah. Don't put it in your eyes.
Yeah, you don't want the back end of that song.
No. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Nah.
Yeah. Nah. Isn't that part of it?
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Yep.
Okay. Just want to know. Just want to make sure.
I think that's how it goes anyway.
Yeah. Or were you just using some... I use Head and Shoulders too.
No,
I was just using it the other day.
I just heard like either a radio spot or like a commercial or something. It was talking about Head and Shoulders, and I was like,
I wonder.
Knees and toes.
Yeah. So it can be used on the beard. On the chest hair.
Yeah, they should for a short period of time. You know how like Budweiser changed their bottles to say America or whatever last year? They should, for a short while, just put knees and toes instead of Head and Shoulders.
That'd be an awesome marketing thing.
I would like it.
It's like when Coca-Cola was like, hey, let's put every name that we could ever think of on these cola bottles.
No, you know what they should do? They should leave it Head and Shoulders for the adults, but then they should have a side product for kids, marketed towards kids, called Knees and Toes.
Yeah.
And then that incorporates the song into it. Dude.
Perfect.
Hire me, Head and Shoulders. Procter & Gamble. Hire me. I think it's Procter & Gamble. Anyway, doesn't matter. I think so.
Or is it Unilever?
I don't know.
I think somehow...
I think it's Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Speaking of Ubering, I had a boost of my ego while I was Ubering this weekend. So
a boost of your ego.
Oh yeah, as if like my head couldn't swell anymore.
Sure.
So I was like, I pulled up to Westport, and it's always kind of crazy down there. And this guy was called the ride, and he's waiting on his friends there. He's like, "Hey, sorry, man. Like my friends are just right over here. They were just finishing up some food from a food truck."
Sure.
And he's like, "Can you just wait a couple minutes?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine," because it starts charging people.
Sure.
When I'm there, and even without me starting the trip, it's like your wait time. So I'm like, "Sure, man. Surge pricing.
Long as you want."
Yeah, man. Just chill. I'm good. So he's like, and it's been about 5 minutes, and he goes over and gets his and like just drags him over here. The other guy that he was with literally picked up a girl, and he was like dragging his girlfriend or something like that, and or his friend. I don't know if anyway. And they, I'm picking them up like 2 a.m. almost, right? And these people have just been drinking for hours and hours, and they're just completely ridiculous.
Sure.
And the girl's like, "Oh my God, you didn't tell me that our Uber driver was hot."
Yeah.
I was like, "Thank you."
But
drunken lady.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, feels good, but also at the same time.
I'm like a 10 on the drunk scale.
Yeah. You would look at a doorknob and probably think it's attractive.
Oh my God, you didn't tell me your front door was so hot.
Oh God, I want to lick it.
But yeah, there's some strange people that I pick up. Most people are, pretty cool, pretty fun.
Sure.
I like to think that most people are good, but there was a dude I picked up on Friday.
Stabbed you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and just ran away.
Fuck.
I'm like, "Hey, come get your knife. I don't."
Get your knife out of my stomach, dude.
Yeah, I don't want this. But no, he was really drunk, and he was an older gentleman. He might have been about 60 years old.
Sure.
Older than us. And you're about 55.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a good day.
55, 450 pounds.
You're really letting yourself go. You're aging incredibly fast. And you're just gaining tons of weight.
I've got Benjamin Button disease, dude.
Yeah.
I've been getting shorter. Have you noticed?
In the wrong way.
Have you oh yes. Shorter but fatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like Benjamin Button, he's an old man.
He's an old man when he's born. Yeah.
And then he gets younger and becomes a baby.
Yeah.
So you would just be aging normally if you're fast. You're kind of like Jack.
Yeah, sort of.
And yeah, so this guy, he's like, he put in the wrong address for the bar he wanted to go to, because there's two. There's one in Northtown and there's one in Overland Park. I was like, "Oh, we're going over Overland Park," which is fine. And he's like, "Oh no, we're going up north. Let me just change the address," which you can do middle of the ride. And he ends up canceling the ride. Like he was like, I don't know what he was doing. And I was like, "Oh man, you just canceled the ride." And we'd already started it. So like, it was weird. He's like, "Oh, that's fine. Just go ahead and go." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to get paid for this trip." He's like, "Oh, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and take me." I'm like, "I'm not just going to take you. Like, you need to get out." Cause
right.
I just accepted another ride. I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to go get this other person." Like, "Oh, well, just take me over to this bar over here and close by." I'm like, "No, like you got to get out of my car. You canceled the ride." And he's like, kind of went back and forth, and he finally got out of the car. It was the only strange experience I've ever had like that.
Weird.
But it's like, dude, I'm not just going to give you a free lift. Like I'm out here.
Sure.
I'm out here trying to make some money. I'm not here giving out free rides. Just call another Uber.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's Jack, dude.
I mean, because he did call another one.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, I'm not going to be the person that gets that.
Yeah.
Like that's just not how it works. Like the ride is not going to come to me. Like you just need to get out and call another Uber.
Right.
And I'll go on our way. It was odd, but yeah.
Screw that, dude. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it was a short interaction, but it was odd.
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah. I can't Uber in my car, luckily for any passengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 97 Malibu. It's rusted to shit.
It's 10 years older than the oldest car that they'll accept right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And that's fine.
Though, you know what? In your wife's car, you could do Uber XL.
Yeah, because it's got the luxury stuff in it.
Well, and you just have more seating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the LTZ package, so it could...
Traverse.
What do they call that? Uber... It's not...
XL.
Well, there's XL, but there's like... I know there's one, and it probably wouldn't qualify for this, but you can like... somebody can pick you up in like a Cadillac Escalade or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's luxury.
Select, and there might be luxury. I don't know. Because I only qualify for like Uber Select, which is like, it's like, McDonald's level.
Oh, okay.
Where the one that,
You're loving
the
it.
luxury level would be like, I don't know what is 10 times better than McDonald's, like
most things.
Five Guys, In-N-Out.
Most things. You know what? I haven't had In-N-Out or Whataburger.
I haven't either.
Don't know.
Or Wahlburger.
I haven't had any Wahlburgers.
I haven't either.
Nope. Unfortunate. I have this Hillary Clinton pin at work.
Mm-hmm.
And from time to time, I'll just walk around and I'll use it. And I don't think I'm ruffling any feathers yet, but there are a bunch of staunch Republicans at work.
Yeah.
And I'll just bring it into like the Republican, like a known Republican at work, and I'll just be writing with my... And it's... let me set it up. It doesn't say like Hillary for president or whatever. It's a pin that has Hillary Clinton's head on it. It's like a molded Hillary Clinton head with on the back of it. It's got like a speaker, and if you press a button on the front side, her jaw moves and she cackles. Okay, so
where did you get this? You came across this pen at like Spencer's or Hot Topic?
I think it was a gag gift from my father-in-law. But he just gave it to me. And I don't know. It was weird, but it does say Hillary for president or Hillary 2016 or whatever. So, but yeah. So from time to time, I'll just walk around and then I'll like put it in my pocket and I'll press the button.
It starts, her cackle.
Yeah, it starts cackling and then I'll like just look around, like sort of confused.
Speaking of her, she officially said she's not going to run for public office again, which makes sense.
I figured.
I think people are over the the status quo. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think after when it's all said and done at the end of year 4 for Trump, I think anybody will want whoever. Hillary Clinton could go methed out. She could be all methed out of her mind.
Mm-hmm.
She could be robo tripping every single presidential debate, and people would be like, really like her stance on things. We do need access to more over-the-counter.
Speaking of Trump, I mean, I can't imagine what another, the next 3 years are going to be. But he was talking smack on NFL players.
I know. I have that pulled up. Actually,
what did he think? He was just going to like by those comments, like everyone's gonna be like, you know what? He's right. I'm gonna stand up.
I just hate how he still has rallies. Like he's trying to like gain support from like people.
This isn't the election.
You won, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You won.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to go out and like say I'm a dick's this big. You know what I'm saying? Like just do your fucking job.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I'm not going to say it's not difficult because I'm sure being the president of the United States is a really difficult job, and I'm not saying
I'm sure
it's
very difficult for him too.
Yeah, just in general,
just that much extra difficult for him.
But it's like, you just don't have to. You don't have to try as hard anymore. That's my main problem with all of these rallies and stuff. And then he goes out and he says stuff like, "Oh, how about these NFL players that are kneeling during the anthem?
They should be fired."
Yeah, every GM should fire them on the spot.
Yeah.
And it's just like you can't just say that. Like we have a constitution for a reason.
Yeah, you can do. I mean, they can do what they want, and they will. And your antagonizing is not going to change that. Obviously, all the antagonizing you're doing to North Korea isn't obviously not doing anything. And it just made more players today kneel. Like today was like the most that has ever been done. Like the game in London. Yeah. The coach even like linked arms. Did he kneel too, or was he just like?
It was the GM.
It was the GM that.
Yeah, and he linked arms. Yeah. So everybody in the NFL, and I think this is awesome. They're all standing in solidarity with each other.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool when you have a team, even if it's like the Jaguars or who was the other team they were playing? The Ravens. It didn't matter if it was the Jaguars or the Ravens. They were like I think there were even some players on other sidelines that were linking arms with each other. It's pretty cool to see that that happening across the NFL, just sort of throwing away the teams, whatever, everybody support each other. Even like the Packers game today.
Yeah.
Like the Packers players were linking arms. The Pittsburgh Steelers didn't even come out for the national anthem. They stayed in the locker room.
I didn't know that.
They didn't even come out. They stood in solidarity with each other because some people wanted to kneel and other players didn't want to kneel. So they just decided not to go out at all.
And it's not, it's not necessarily a knock on the anthem.
No.
It's that they're having these, silent protests to
peaceful protests.
Yeah, to bring awareness or stand up for, injustice or inequalities. And they all have their own motivations. And it's just like, you can't, it's just, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's not just the NFL too, like, with Steph Curry and the Warriors.
Yeah.
Trump was like, he was saying how, he's no longer invited, Steph Curry, and he's no longer invited with the rest of the Warriors. And LeBron James, did you see his tweet?
No.
Oh my gosh, I gotta find that. But let's see. I'll try to find it. Oh yeah, LeBron called him a bum, and because he said that Trump said the invite was no longer. Let's see.
He's no longer extending.
Yeah,
the invite
so
to him.
Trump says going to the White House is considered a great honor for a championship team. Steph Curry is hesitating, therefore invitation is withdrawn. And then LeBron said, "You bum. Going to the White House was a great honor until you showed up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so
how it is.
People aren't like going there because
it used to
who's
be
in the White House.
Yeah, it used to be.
It used to be an honor.
Yeah.
But no one they don't want to see being dining with him.
No.
He's just like,
nobody wants to share a space with Donald Trump.
Nah.
And it's not even the NBA either.
Yeah.
The Oakland A's, a player on the Oakland A's was the first Major League Baseball player to kneel for the anthem as well. Yeah. That was a day ago. So
okay.
So it's happening all over the place. I think it's cool too. I think and I think a lot of people feel like it's discrediting all of the good work that our veterans do and people who are in the military. And it's not even about that.
Yeah. They're not underscoring, current service members or veterans. It's not, they're standing up for what they think or not standing up for what, the America that they think it should be.
Yeah. So,
and what's really cool is that, we not so often see, professional players use their platform to do something like this, but they seem like it's situation calls for something like that. And how often people see little kids see these professional players as role models, and a lot of times they're like Aaron Hernandez or all these people that commit crimes or are caught doing drugs. And this just kind of shows that you can, they're good professional athletes and that they're teaching people to stand up for the right things.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of cool to see players being models in a good way.
Yeah.
Because there's so much a stigma on, the negativity that comes out with players like with Adrian Peterson, a few seasons ago.
Child abuse
and stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I hope it's fruitful. I hope they're, all of these peaceful protests they're doing are going to make a difference, At least just showing the public that, where they stand, and hopefully that'll sort of steer everything else. Yeah, man. But it's sort of weird, I don't know. Trump's he's a skeevy sort of guy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, but...
Yeah, a lot of people are wondering if he has some kind of disability.
Really?
Like something to do with, like some kind of like brain disability or something. Or like, aging or something. There's a lot of theories as to why he is the way he is, but I think it's just like
he's
the way he is.
mid-70s,
He's like,
isn't he?
Well, he's like 70, 71 or something
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah, just, old businessman.
He is an old businessman.
Yeah, he's like the guy from what's that Christmas movie?
Scrooge McDuck. He's like Scrooge McDuck, but not a duck.
Well, McDuck is like
Scrooge,
the
Ebenezer,
Disney version of,
Scrooge, yeah,
of Dickinson's. Yeah. Anyhow,
The Night Before Christmas. No, that's not it.
No,
that's not it.
A Christmas Carol.
That's
or
it.
Christmas Carol. The Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. I think it's Carol King.
Carol King. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She just.
I think that's right.
She's just singing about Christmas stuff.
So, being that we jumped, we're proactive. Johnny was not anticipating that we were going to be.
Yes.
So he sent us notes. Are we reading said notes?
No.
Okay.
So what's going to happen here? Johnny may throw some little fun banter in his recorded segment. I don't yet have that recorded segment, so we don't know how that sounds yet. We do have notes that Johnny has prepared. I feel like this would be a good time for Johnny to just sort of go off script and throw some other stuff in there.
Yeah.
If he has anything sort of chambered, little surprises or whatever that we won't address, maybe we can get that next week.
Yeah.
But we'll just sort of go through the notes like we did early on before Johnny started recording.
Okay, so we are going to go through those.
Well, I mean, do you have them pulled up?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No, I just work here.
Well, we can sort of react to the notes. So this is Fact Checking with Johnny.
Zach, if you're listening, make sure you cut out all of the bad stuff. Make me sound good. All right, Jumbled listeners, this is Johnny with the facts. As I'm sure you can tell, my voice sounds a little different even again. I'm doing this episode from on the road and using my iPhone, so I apologize for the poor quality and the inconsistencies of the audio quality. I promise you guys at some point I'll get my act together and keep it consistent and sounding smooth. But in the meantime, it's this or you guys miss out on the facts. And as we all know, the people want the facts. So let's get right into it. Joe made what I thought was a bold statement about apricots and almonds being related. And it turns out that almonds, peaches, apricots, and plums are all members of the family, and I'm going to butcher this, Rosaceae, maybe? I don't know. Further, they're all members of the genus Prunus. So Joe, you're getting a point there. Good job, buddy. The boys talked about the origin of chickenpox. So did a little digging, and it said chickenpox is believed to have been first discovered by Giovanni Filippo during the 1500s in Italy. In the 1600s, an English physician named Richard Morton gave the name chicken pox to what he thought was a milder, smaller form of smallpox. I don't know, chicken, small. We'll go with it. Dealing with the pain, Joe was looking for a drug that doctors inject into the body to manage pain and swelling, inflammation. That drug is cortisone. I know it very well. It's pretty good, but it does have some long-term negative side effects, and it's kind of like a liquid Band-Aid. So I would not suggest everyone jumping right into it right away. The top-selling Green Day album, the number one, and this was based by record sales, as per the Google machine, was American Idiot, which I really didn't like that album. The number two was Dookie, which I thought was fantastic. My personal favorite is Nimrod, but I don't know if that's actually because it's my favorite album from them or the best album from them, or just because it was actually one of the first CDs that I ever got. And it really kind of introduced me to Green Day. And I think, there's some nostalgia there, why I'm so connected to it. Zach's Sixth Sense was released August 2nd, 1999. You were really close with your guess, though. Pretty impressive there. And then also, Zach, I guess I do owe you an apology for the Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to be completely open with you. I vaguely remember you mentioning it, or mentioning Rotten Tomatoes, and I knew that there should have been a point. But I was actually listening to the podcast in my car, and I took a screenshot of the time signature a little bit too late, and I just couldn't find it. I didn't know if you guys would catch it, and I would like to say I was testing you, but I wasn't. That was a bit of laziness on my end, but you're right, you did deserve a point, and you deserve more than the honorable mention that you gave yourself. So we're gonna give you a point for that, because you were pretty bang on with that. And then lastly, who is the mechanical winged hero that Joe and Zach were talking about? His name is Falcon. I was going to dig into some more of the Superman stuff, but I'm just going to let it slide. So that brings us down to the total. Joe got a point this episode. Zach got a bonus point out of my air. So that brings Joe to 13. Zach to 13 as well. The boys are still tied, and I gave myself an honorable 69 because you know what? Why not? Anyways, that's the facts for episode 29. I'll talk to you guys next week.
So apparently apricots and almonds are related. So
yeah.
You got a point for that.
I know things.
Yeah. Congratulations. I don't think that's really point worthy.
It's like a random piece of trivia. I mean, I'm never going to be in like a trivia game where it's like, which of these are related?
You're gonna get on Jeopardy one day, and one of the columns is just gonna be about apricots and almonds.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna ace it, dude.
Yeah. I'll take almonds and apricots for 500. Ding, 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 ding. That's the daily double. I want it all. They're cousins. I win.
Let it ride. So you got a point. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Well deserved.
Origin of chickenpox. Apparently, the dude who found out about smallpox thought chickenpox were related or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you call them chickenpox.
Yeah, they're both an ailment, so they're related in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like...
I don't know. What are the symptoms of smallpox? I don't think I've ever looked that up. Do you know off the top of your head? Is it a pox?
Yeah, it's like big bumps on your skin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Which I'm pretty sure it's eradicated in the U.S. I don't think it's eradicated all. Is it?
Is it globally?
Yeah.
I know. I think that's what the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been trying to eradicate.
Yeah.
Globally, smallpox. I think it's only like a couple countries, if not just like one African country or something
our
like
parents have like most of our parents, have like a big scar on their shoulder from it.
Yeah.
We didn't have to get it.
Yeah. I wonder, yeah. I do recall seeing that on my dad. Weird.
That is weird.
That is weird how it goes. So yeah, there's that. Cortisone.
Yeah, man, it was on the tip of my tongue. I even think I said like
K.
it was like some kind of K, like C.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I did listen to last week's episode.
Oh, congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I give it about a 5, 6.
Yeah, you joined the other 24 people.
6.
You joined the other 24 people that listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 12 of those people.
Yeah.
All the numbers we're getting, it's just me.
Just
me on repeat
over and over and over.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up this old doc there too.
Ye old doc. Is it a Renaissance?
Old doc. Yep. Mm-hmm. Top selling Green Day album. Very disappointed in this list. Well, part of this list.
Yeah.
Because number 4 is 21st Century Breakdown from 2009.
Yep.
Then we've got International Super Hits from 2001.
I like that one.
Dookie.
Yeah.
Which was yours, right? Is that the
Dookie.
one you like?
That's the one I mentioned.
94. Way back.
Of course. That's
And
number
then-
2.
And the number 1 top selling album.
Your favorite.
American Idiot.
Yeah.
From 2004.
You know what? Congratulations, Joe. I know you really love that album. So
That song or that album, yeah, it's my least favorite. I didn't realize it was so. I thought it was more recent than 04.
No, man. I remember going into I don't know if it was an FYE or something, but it was while we were still in high school. And I think it was over a summer break. I think Katie, at the time Harmon, was there. And we were sort of walking around
maybe in the Highlands,
a mall somewhere, and we went into FYE or something. They had a bunch of the wristbands for the American Idiot, Green Day. They a red wrist. I bought one.
Cool. You still have it?
I still have it.
Nice.
Yep, still got it. So I love that. You know what? I'm gonna take a differing stance. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. It's not typical Green Day. But I wouldn't say it's like Nickelback. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, it's better. It's better than Nickelback. Is it their best? No.
Nah.
No, I wouldn't say so.
I don't know how.
But it's not bad.
And also, being the top selling doesn't necessarily equate to
Quality.
Yeah.
I would agree.
That's more subjective.
Yeah.
Than top selling.
You know, maybe they just had a bigger marketing push or something like that. You know, maybe they were just on TRL more, you know?
They are bringing that back. Did you know that?
They are. And if anybody was on Vine, I was big on Vine. Well, I wasn't big on Vine, but I enjoyed Vine.
You were big into Vine.
I was big into Vine.
Yeah.
Although I did have like over 1,000 followers or whatever. So
Dang. Dang,
big
Gina.
big timing. No, but the Gabby show.
Yeah.
She's
funny.
Yeah, she is. But she's got a YouTube channel.
She and I
whatever.
are LinkedIn friends. That's my claim to fame.
Claim to Vane.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
They should have just called Vane.
Hit her up
Vine.
Hit her up on LinkedIn. All right, let's get her on the show, dude.
Yeah.
What if she was like, yeah, what the fuck? You know, I'll come out to.
I'll come into your. That's not creepy at all. I'll come to your house and record in your basement.
The Gabby show.
Hey, do you want to? Hey, just throwing this out there. Would you want to come record on my podcast?
In my basement.
It's in my basement.
In my crawl space.
Side note, it's in my basement, my unfinished basement.
Don't worry, my cousin's going to be there.
Blocked and restraining order.
It's hot. It's hot in the basement, so don't wear a lot of clothes. No. That would be the creepiest.
Yeah.
But still send it, you know? Anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
No longer LinkedIn friends, like blocked or whatever. Yeah, for a while there, she was like looking at your page or something. Wasn't she on LinkedIn?
Yeah, we messaged a while back because like,
did you?
I was like, because I don't know if I'm sure I requested her, but like, I was like, it said like her job was influencer, and that was right when like that term was being introduced, like influencer marketing, because all these people are like, yeah, I'm wearing this kind of clothes today. They're like, they're being paid most of the time to say that. Yeah, I was like, what does that mean? What's influencer? And so she just kind of
broke it down.
Yeah. Responded to it, which was cool. I mean, she's got millions of fans.
She's got big YouTube channel and all that
to take
stuff.
the time to like, hey, yeah, this is what all that is.
And now she's going to be on TRL.
Yeah,
that's bringing it back around to the original.
And next, is she going to be on TRL? That's how you brought. That's
yeah, she's one. Okay. She's one of the people. Carson Daly's not coming back. He's doing The Voice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
yeah. So he's on The Voice, which is doing great.
Yeah,
I like The Voice.
Yeah.
It's good. I don't watch it. It's Fox, right?
You just listen to it?
Yeah.
I feel it might be.
I watch YouTube clips. It's it's pretty good. But yeah, so she's gonna be on TRL. So know, maybe your sister can get back on there and request like a throwback song and scream or something.
J-Lo and what was it? I think we tried.
Ja Rule.
Yeah,
I'm real.
Yeah.
The way you walk, the way you move, way I'm real. That song?
Yep.
Was that the one? Cool.
Where's Ja?
Where is Ja? You know what? I would take Ja Rule's notes on society right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some opinions.
I'm sure he does. Oh, speaking of Ja Rule, do you recall the Fire Festival?
Yeah.
He was like a contributor to the Fire Festival.
He was one of the guys?
Yeah. This past summer where like people just showed up and there was like FEMA tents just all over the place.
I wonder what became of that. I mean, there's obviously like a lawsuit going on for that.
Sure. I think they refunded it, the people who had purchased tickets or whatever. So I don't know if there would be any, but people bought like airfare and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. There's probably a lawsuit happening. Anyway, back to Johnny's notes. Sixth Sense was released on August 2nd of 99. So I was close.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the 90s.
True.
I said 96, 97, I think. So it was the back half of the 90s.
Mm-hmm. You are getting a point for Rotten Tomato for your knowledge. So yeah, you get +1.
Yep.
And then the mechanical winged hero is his name is Falcon.
Yeah. Falcon. Yeah.
Falcon.
That was and he's in all those Avenger movies, right? He's the dude who has the bow as well.
No. The guy that has a bow, his name is something else. It's not Falcon.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the same dude.
No. That guy is played by Jeremy Renner. That's who you're thinking about. And his name is, oh man, I just had it.
Jeremy Renner is what you just said.
Exactly. Bullseye?
Yeah, that might be it.
Is it Bullseye?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Probably.
Anyhow.
Anyway. So that brings us to our final points. Johnny already said. So we're all tied up. It's
We're tied up, is that what you're saying?
13-13.
Is it?
Yep. And then Johnny with his classy 69. That's stay classy, Johnny. So appreciate your notes. Hopefully you have a little bit of extra something, that we can touch on next week.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate the time that you take, as always.
Hawkeye.
That's it.
Bullseye, Hawkeye.
I think close. Hawk, Falcon. That's where I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my bird.
It's a winged creature. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Homecoming. Graceland Homecoming's coming up under a month, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yep. So we got the, just to remind everybody, Joe versus Johnny ping pong match.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I haven't figured out like plans on where I'm going to stay or anything like that. So
we always stay with Nikki's family.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
You could just camp out somewhere. You could just
Good.
Stay up on the hall.
Yeah, just ask, hey, can I sleep in the lounge?
You got a bed somewhere?
Can I just sleep in the lounge?
I gotta start practicing some ping pong.
Yeah, dude.
There is also the 50-year anniversary of the men's volleyball program.
Nice.
So there's always an alumni game. So I'm gonna play at that. There's nice. Luncheon.
Nice.
So I'll be at that, but
nice. I'll just be meandering, not knowing anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I plan on doing.
You'll know some people. Brad works up there.
Yeah, Brad does. Mark did, but he's at Iowa State now.
Yeah.
He's going back for engineering or something
cyclone.
like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so anyway, that's cool. Nobody knows who Mark is. Anyway,
we call him Squirrel, and he's a strangely athletic person.
Yes. Yeah. That's the best way to describe him.
Strangely athletic in the fact that this
he doesn't look like he should be.
Skinny guy doesn't look like he should be able to be a good athlete.
Yeah,
that's it.
But he is.
But he is.
So yeah, I'll figure that out, I guess. Mm-hmm. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'll need to be up there, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll figure out what I need to do. But, I think I just peaked the mic. Anyway. Woo! Sorry, stretching out. Stretching out. Back was season up a little bit.
Those were all of Johnny's notes, right?
Those were all of Johnny's notes. So we're all fact checked up. So
we're square.
We are squared in so much as the notes provide. Right. Also, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. What was I going to talk about? Oh, I had a dream last night. We talked about this before we got recording. One of the podcasts I listen to is called 10 Minute Podcast.
Yeah, it's a good podcast.
I've been listening to that for
years.
Yeah, a long time.
Longest podcast I think I've ever listened to.
Yeah, so
other than This American Life for me. Yeah,
I think it was pretty much right up there. It was like I started out with Nerdist. I was listening to Nerdist a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
And then
from time to time.
Yeah, and then Girl on Guy is Aisha Tyler. She's got a podcast. I listened to that for a while, but I sort of gave up on that too. So, but those were like the beginnings, and then 10 Minute Podcast has sort of stayed on my queue from then on.
And you had a dream last night about those guys.
Yeah. So, originally it was Will Sasso, Brian Callen, and Chris D'Elia, but it's since been switched to Will Sasso, Tommy Blacha and Chad Kulchin.
Yeah.
Tommy and Chad are writers and producers, so they sort of bring a different dynamic. But anyway, I had a dream that they all came over to my house for some weird reason.
Yeah.
And then Will Sasso took a big poop in my house and clogged the toilet and then just flushed it 3 or 4 times and then just left.
Yeah.
It was
just random. They just showed up just so he could use the restroom, or they were hanging out and then
I don't know.
It's kind of weird. Dreams aren't always so linear. You kind of skip through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I recall I think there was a limo they showed up in or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went out to try to say, hey, you got to come help me clean all the shit up that you just, and then they just left. Yep.
Yeah.
Skirt. I'm sure they wouldn't do that in real life.
I don't know. It seems like something funny that he might do.
But I just thought, dreams are weird.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that means or what I ate.
You sent a tweet out and you tagged the podcast in it or Will Sasso or both?
Both. And the 10-minute podcast retweeted it. They retweet me from time to time.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Because you called in. You've actually been on their podcast.
I have. It was the episode with... Have I called in twice? No, it's just once, I think.
I mean, you probably tried to call in a few times, but
yeah, I only got through once. But it was in the middle stage where Brian Callen and Chris D'Elia had already left the podcast, or were transitioning out, doing their own thing, firing the kid, and Chris D'Elia was doing his comedy and stuff, and his podcast. And then before the new guys came in, so Will was having random people on, like Bobby Lee and what's her name from Family Guy. I
know you're talking about, but I can't. She does the voice of Lois. I can't think of her name.
Yeah. Anyway, she was on there, and who's that? I can't remember her name. She's on Saturday Night Live. She does the Owen Wilson impression. I can't think of her name right now.
Oh, I don't know who you're talking about.
Anyway, it's one of the features or whatever.
Yeah.
But he had a bunch of people on, and it was an episode with Bobby Lee. And I think he was doing some shtick. Anyway, he's doing one of his characters. He always does those, but anyway, yeah. So I got retweeted. That always makes me happy when
That's cool.
Because I tweet so infrequently that whenever I get retweeted by anybody, I'm like, oh, sweet, I got retweeted, even if it's just a buddy or something,
Speaking of tweets and social media.
The tweets?
Yeah.
We're there. We are. All social media, just search for @Jumbled Podcast.
We're now on Stitcher.
We are now on
Google
Stitcher.
Play, iTunes.
Mm-hmm. Player.fm.
Player.fm, yeah.
Yep.
Find us on iTunes and leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Send us an email at jumbledpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Let us know how we're doing. Means a lot when we hear from our fans, our friends and fans and families.
No, I'm going fans, dude.
Yeah.
Straight sellout, dude.
Straight fans.
No, for real, on the reviews. I don't know what I need to do to get people to review this show.
Stop being so thirsty. Don't beg. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Head over, please.
Nope. That was it. You sound super.
Please.
Nope.
I enjoy this.
Dial back.
I don't care. I don't care if you review. Is that too far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Head over. Let us know how we're doing. Send us an email. Messages, whatever. We respond to as much. Well, probably at this point, everything.
Facebook, we respond within an hour, I think.
Is that what we're down to now?
Yeah.
We haven't received any other messages that I've known of from bots or otherwise. Anyway, we're out of here this week, guys, but make sure to check back in for another episode of Jumbled, your favorite podcast
about nothing.